Hey, Cancer. Intuitive Soul Coach here with your August 2024 bonus reading. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. Okay, as I was doing your intro, I'm not kidding you. I was seeing a mirror, and something is being mirrored to you at this time, because we're going to take a look at the new, what's new coming in, and how is Mercury retrograde helping you embrace some of the new beginnings. Instead of Mercury sometimes hindering success, it really can be helpful, and that's what we're going to look at. And your Mercury card is the shadow work, which is a mirrored energy. So you may be seeing something reflected back to you at this time, Cancer. It could be a relationship. It could be, health issues, or, your career. You're seeing how your perspective is the filter in which you see your reality. And I feel like you're switching that. There's something here about you seeing the light, seeing the dark, you seeing the polarity in a situation. I'm getting diversity. I'm getting a strong Libran energy here around balance, but you've been doing the inner healing. And a lot of you have gone through some dark nights of the soul. There's been trauma, perhaps therapy involved, ego, addictions, buried emotions. Retrograde is helping you at this time because look, we have a choice here. And then there's the belief system. So it's about making a new decision, taking a new path, creating new neuroplasticity within your brain, right? When we tend to do something over and over, we tend to create that path, and it's easier to go from point A to B when, the path is already made clear. You can see on the choice card, there is two directions, two paths, and one of them is more prominent, but it looks like it's heading towards maybe the shadow side, which on this side, we see a little bit of a shadow. On the other side, we see the light, and we're kind of seeing the same depiction here from the choice card. And I see some of you, you're coming back to a space where instead of the default mode being resistance, or perhaps the default mode, and what I mean by default is a learned behavior. You've learned to take this path because over and over and over again, that was the result, or that's what you stayed in, or that's what you started to believe as your own truth. I see something being mirrored to you or reflected, and you're saying, hold up, wait a minute. I don't have to go down that path. I've learned valuable lessons. And I feel like the mirror is being held up, and the reality, there's something being shattered. There's something being shattered, and this is a really beautiful thing, even though the illusion is being shattered and it can be uncomfortable. It's actually reprogramming you towards more abundance. So what's new coming in here? Overcoming conflict. Look at that. We have solutions. So the first word on the conflict card is solution. So something that you've been going back and forth with. Again, this is that tug of war. This is polarity, duality, mirror, light and dark, good or bad, right or wrong. I feel like the justice energy is coming in here, and this is about you overcoming those obstacles. Taking a look at what triggers you, taking a look at where there's adversity, where is there resistance, why is there opposing views, and there's a new path here that you're taking that is going to feel more in flow, more in alignment with your path, with your journey. But you may have had to go through something that you really resisted. You didn't want to go through it. I mean, no one wants to go through the storm. If we have the option at times, if it's, a bright sunny day and it's stormy and cloudy and rain everywhere, and we have outdoor activities planned, of course, we want to head towards the sunshine. And for some of you, it's like you had you had something planned out. And I say outdoor activities because It's almost as if you had your life mapped out, or you had something planned. Maybe it was that relationship that you wanted to marry the person, or it could have been that job that you were hoping would be the ticket to retirement, or a business idea. It's almost as if you had a plan, but the storm came in, right? The storm came in and you had to navigate through some of the highs and lows, but now it's like you're in too far, and it feels like day after day you're just expecting rain. You're expecting storm clouds, but somewhere along the line, your intuition, your belief system is being revitalized, reborn, reactivated, all of the REs, which is, retrograde season. This is about self-talk. And I do see here higher power on the belief system. Higher power is really allowing you to make some new choices and to help steer you. I mean, you are the choice maker. You are the one that has free will. But I see you've been asking. You've been asking for help. You've been asking for solutions. You've been asking for, a miracle for some of you. So let's dive into this energy, because I feel like this is a really good turn in your perspective. It's shifting something in a big way, and you're seeing it head on. It wouldn't surprise me to see the moon, maybe even the judgment card. I'm getting light and dark, so the polarities of the sun and the moon showing up. So let's clarify. Spirit, why is the new conflict? Okay, so we're finding solutions here within conflict, but there is something you're facing right now. So I don't feel like this is going to be a brand new conflict, because we have shadow work already underneath the energy. You already know what this is. But let's take a look. Spirit, can we please clarify conflict? There's the sun. Something is being illuminated. And that's exactly the energy I'm picking up on. It's being illuminated to shatter the illusion in order for you to take a new path. Cancer, this is big. This is a breakthrough. This may be the catalyst that you needed to get yourself up and out of a situation. And maybe that situation that you were in wasn't even that bad, right? Maybe it was a marriage that was just, comfortable, but it wasn't what you had dreamed, right? Or maybe it wasn't something that was the worst of the worst. And a lot of times we need to hit a rock bottom, or it has to get really bad before we make a change. And for some of you, I feel like there is a pause before it gets to the point of getting really, really bad. I mean, some of you, yes, it's been that way with the shadow, but for others of you, because you are spiritual, because you're intuitive, it's like you're coming up against it where you're able to see. It's like the iceberg, the Titanic, right? Instead of waiting and not paying attention, you have this sense of awareness now where you see it up ahead, and you're going to kind of veer off and take a new approach. So I feel like the sun is saying, your happiness is over here. We just need to detour a little bit. We need to kind of shift perspectives in a way, because you already know the shadow piece of it, and you don't have to stay on that path because that's what you were taught, right? Take the Titanic, for example. They have a clear path, a clear direction of where they want to go, right? And they're not expecting the iceberg or the shadow or the challenge to pop up, but it does. But because you're aware, because you've gone through this in the past in some way, shape, or form, you are being alerted. And because the sun is showing up here, I feel like there's a lot of joy and a lot of happiness, and you're not letting this sabotage or a person or a pattern, whatever is the conflict for you, you're not letting it sabotage your happiness. That's why you're choosing now. And that's what retrograde is helping you with at this time, because there's the choice. So some of you, the reason why this is extra challenging is because the rug has been pulled out from underneath you in the past. Maybe this is a health issue. Some of you lost a loved one. This may be about, something in your life that was the center of your universe, right? It may not It may not have turned out in the past the way you thought it would. Therefore, the belief system that you start to believe is, well, maybe I'm not going to have happiness, or perhaps this is always going to be challenging for me, or maybe I won't fall in love, right? You are shifting gears here and you're saying, I'm sick of telling myself the old story, the eight of swords, right? And you are embracing happiness with open arms here. And there's the card of karma. You've released some sort of karmic debt. And I don't want to say debt as in you accumulated and you were, this had to happen to you because you're such an awful person. No, Cancer. That's not how karma works. It doesn't point its way out, towards you. Karma is basically a response to our behaviors, to our actions, and to the choices we make. It's not singled out towards anyone in particular. It's based on choices that we have made in the past. And I feel like there is choices that sometimes we love, choices that sometimes haunt us. But you've worked through some of this. You've decided, instead of letting those choices haunt you, that you have euphoric, healthy, powerful new choices, that you are the alchemist, you are the creator of your life. This is Temperance. Temperance with the Sun says you've put your happiness on hold for quite some time, or it doesn't feel like you've been happy for a long time. Okay, it may even feel like you've gone through this shadow, this conflict, this healing work forever. It may have felt like you were on this lonely path, but what's new coming in here? A whole heck of a lot of happiness. But your first reaction may be, who, me? And you're looking behind you thinking, no, it's the person behind me. They may deserve it, right? Or it can't be me. That wouldn't happen. Don't let yourself sabotage by shutting or pushing away an opportunity for abundance. We do it all the time, even subconsciously, because we don't want to be hurt. We don't want to be let down. And sometimes it feels easier just to, put the hand up and say, no, I don't want to do that, because then I have to reprogram the mind. But it takes just as much effort to push away as it does to receive. Keep that in mind. You have a choice here. And I feel like there's been a lot of growth during this cycle that may have been years and years and years for some of you. But the karmic debt or the shadow or the healing has taken place. You're good. You are ready to embrace a happy energy, happy outcome. So let's take a look here and get a sneak peek even at this sun, because this is for you. Remember, this is solutions. This is light at the end of the tunnel. Some new choice that's showing up here through a perspective even, or you're seeing it from a new perspective. Even if it's an external choice that's made, it's because you are looking for that opportunity. Because when you start to view your reality from the lens of optimism, of gratitude, of looking for miracles, of looking for growth, right? You're going to start to see it everywhere. But when you are used to being in that conditioning of negativity or catastrophizing or disaster or shadow, right? You view the world through that lens. Therefore, you notice it in many things. There's a big shift taking place. And I also get Hanged Man energy. And look at bottom of the deck, you have the Ace of Truth, Ace of Swords. There's clarity. You are the diamond, Cancer. You're the diamond in the rough. How are diamonds formed? Through pressure and darkness. You've gone through the darkness. We see it. You've been pressurized like in an Instant Pot, right? Whew! Your steam may have been blown off in some way, shape, or form, but here you are. You're coming out a beautiful diamond. And I feel like there's an opportunity here that is absolutely breathtaking. Spirit, can we get a sneak peek towards the gifts that's lying at the top of the deck here? This is also what Mercury is bringing in, right? Gifts, spiritual gifts, gratitude, surprises, celebration, a gift from the universe even. We have the Emperor, order. This does bring order to your world. This could be a boss. It could be you stepping into your power, you creating stability for yourself. The Emperor could be a divine masculine. You've learned to question your path. You didn't go along with the sheep, or you're not going to anymore, right? There's something about you creating more stability and structure, but by doing things that may cause you to go against the grain in some way, shape, or form, for you to forge your own path. When the Emperor is showing up here, this is a beautiful energy of leadership, of authority, of structure and power. And you are taking a stand is what I'm getting. It's like you're taking a stance for something that you believe in. And that's why you have belief system as well. Because there is a small part of you that, you've never given up, even though life's circumstances have thrown iceberg upon iceberg towards you. I mean, look at how many major arcanas. And now at the bottom of the deck, you have the Alchemist, the Magician. This is huge. You're at a point in your life where there's a crossroads, there's an intersection, you're able to see something ahead. You're able to see that if I continue on this path, I'm going to hit an iceberg. But if I continue to, if I move in a new direction here, which that's what we're clarifying is, the new, there's an opportunity for you to wrap up a cycle that's been ongoing for a long, long time with that Temperance. But it actually taught you a lot. It taught you about emotional stability, and it brought about temperance in your behaviors, and it brought in self-control and patience. And because you've learned those lessons, you're feeling more empowered now with the Emperor than maybe you ever have in your lifetime. Okay, because Magician at the bottom of the deck, Gemini, Virgo, will be rolling into Virgo season towards the end of August. Spirit, can we take a look at some of Cancer's gifts showing up here? Spiritual gifts. Let's look at these spiritual gifts that you've accumulated from this. There's that Hanged Man. Yep. And that's exactly confirming what we've been talking about your whole reading. You're waking up. You're waking up to the truth of who you are, of what you deserve, your worth. You're waking up to a belief system that may not be serving you. Okay, maybe it did at one point or another, but it's not now. There's something here that you are seeing from a new perspective, and it's allowing you to put your energy and time and investments towards something that's going to grow. Divine timing. It's now. You're waking up, and Spirit is saying now is the time. Okay. 7 of Pentacles is all about assessing and evaluating. I mean, this is clarifying Mercury retrograde, which is the gifts as well. And Mercury retrograde puts things into perspective for us. It really does. It allows us to really reevaluate where we're at on our journey, on our path. And Cancer, if you're putting energy towards something where there's no growth, or perhaps you felt out of alignment, or you felt stuck in some way, shape, or form, there is new growth here available. And I feel like you're just pivoting just a little bit, just a new perspective, or opening up to something in a new way. That's going to bring you home. That's going to bring you home to that 10 of Pentacles. Okay, 7, timing here. The timing is now, because when we get to the 7 of Pentacles, we're really working towards that 9 or that 10. And I feel it's been a long time coming, but the 9 and the 10 and the Pentacles, which let's get a sneak peek at what you're working towards. But the 9 and the 10 is creating a life that you love, a life of financial security, a life of wealth and abundance, leaving behind a legacy, being able to, live a life that's financially stable, and you have the support, and you have the love and the community or the family. Can be marriage. Spirit, what do we need to know about the 7 of Pence, please? 7 of Pence and investments, where we invest our time, our money, our energy, our love. Yeah, but there's been a holdback. There's been a restraint. You felt restricted. You felt stuck in that Seven of Pentacles for quite some time. That's the new. There's the choice. Again, choices, choices, choices that lead to your happiness. Now you fully have the energy here of Aries as well with the Emperor. And this is going to help you bring more power or feel more empowered to make these choices and decisions instead of letting someone else make them for you, or instead of waiting for them to fall in your lap. This is putting in the work. I mean, that Emperor is not afraid to put in the work. And I feel like you have been putting in the work, but to pivot, we got to kind of take that wheel, and that's going to require your hand. Your hand. As they say, take one step toward the gods, they'll take 10 steps towards you. All it requires you to do is pivot and turn a little bit of that wheel, a little bit of that perspective. And I feel like this is really showing up in a big way. Law of attraction. Look at that. Manifestation. You receive the Magician. This is about positive affirmations, magnetic energy, abundance, abundant mindset. All right. Last but not least, Spirit, why is the shadow here? Even though we've talked about it, default mode, Cancer has gone through a lot here and had to, first thing I was seeing was the mirror. So the mirror being held up. Can we clarify or soak any last juices out of the shadow? What do we need to know about that shadow? And how is it helping? Because it's allowing you to have a new sense of understanding, a new sense of healing, a new sense of inspiration with the star. Yeah, beautiful. There is rest available here. Four of Swords. Some of you are overworking to the point of, or obsessing to the point of mental instability, maybe even mental breakdown. Or you didn't even know what way was up, what way was down. You didn't even know what direction was a choice that you made versus something that you thought. Some of you, there was complete mental muckery is what I'm getting. But you are allowing yourself to rest here, to regain your composure, to be honest with yourself with that Page of Pence. And you're manifesting a new inspirational opportunity, one that does bring healing, clarity, and understanding. But it's, it hasn't been easy. It's been through the shadows, through that darkness, where you really transformed with the butterfly there, right? Some of you may even be traveling, taking a trip. I'm getting a lot of sun. This is Leo's major arcana. So Leo season is going to be pivotal here for you. You're bossing up in some way, shape, or form. You could be, taking the lead role, or there's a new level of fun, but it requires you to, take the bull by the horns kind of energy here is what I'm picking up on. It requires you to take initiation, take action towards it, or make the choice, right? Whether it's buying the ticket to book that trip, maybe it's you applying for that job. Okay, it could be you reaching out to a loved one. It could be you asking, that police officer that pulled you over for a speeding ticket to go on a date, right? Whatever it is for you, allow the stars to make magic happen and allow yourself to trust and make choices that feel synchronistic. Because right now there's a holding back, or there was, with the restraint and the timing. Because the Two of Swords is making a choice. It's at a crossroads. You're at a crossroads where what I'm investing in, is it worth? Or, if I keep moving forward, am I going to hit that iceberg, or do I need to pivot? And I feel like you're choosing to pivot. Last but not least here, message for Cancer. Ooh, we have Braveheart. I have not seen that movie in a long time. Braveheart. Isn't that a Mel Gibson movie? It says, growth is uncomfortable because it is new. Okay, we're going to back this up a minute. So this conflict that is showing up, it is growth. It is a new opportunity for you to grow. And you may feel conflicted because you may want to at times stay in the comfort zone of the Temperance. Maybe you've been in it for quite some time, but Spirit is saying, but the growth is leading to the sun. It's right here. Be brave enough to, open up to it. Step into this Emperor energy. You got it. You got this going on. You're waking up to a new path. You've never been here before. You are brave and courageous. That's Leo energy as well. You're brave and courageous. Step confidently into your power. There's the Emperor. Life will expand with you. So brave heart. Wow. Growth is uncomfortable because it is new. You have never been here before. You are brave and courageous. Step confidently into your power and life will expand with you. That sums up these 3 cards in a nutshell, doesn't it? And lastly, we have fear is a liar. Y'all, what do I say about fear? What's the acronym? False evidence appearing real. You can feel afraid and still let your heart lead towards your next best step. Your fears are your imagination at play. They are not your reality. No, they're false evidence. That's why that mirror is showing up in your world for you to shatter the illusion of fears, to shatter the shadow, right? To bring light to it. This is all making beautiful sense. And I'm just noticing there's a card upright here. And in this deck, before we wind down your reading, you have focus. It almost came sneaking out of the deck. I could see the red in it. This is the 2 of Wands. 2 of Wands is about focusing your attention. Focusing because law of attraction is showing up here. What you focus on grows. And we said that earlier. Remember about that perspective? The view, the lens in which you view your reality is based on your beliefs. Keep that in mind, Cancer. Keep that in mind because you're shifting, you're waking up. And that lie, that illusion, that fear is not your truth. You believed in it. You believed in the lie, but you're waking up because something is mirrored back and you're saying, wait a minute. You're choosing a new path, a new direction. And this one is bringing a whole lot of abundance and happiness. I mean, brave hearts here. Wow. Life will expand with you. That is what I have for you, Cancer. I hope it resonates. If so, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And thank you so very much for tuning in. Okay. Did I tell you this in the beginning? I'm getting one last thing. It's coming up again if I didn't say it already. Pickle juice. Is someone eating pickles out of the jar? Someone... Yeah, I keep getting pickle juice. Maybe someone's nickname is Pickle. Maybe you're eating a pickle listening to this. Or again, that's symbolic for a salty or sour situation. But I'm getting pickles again. So very interesting. Thank you so much, Cancer. Lots of love.